So I'm feeling a little defeated and frustrated and bummed out trying to get files ready to the printer so they can print the book on time so I can send them out to all the book kickers, and it's been kicking my ass and I've been losing a lot of sleep. So I thought I would just take a break and talk to you guys and answer two of the biggest questions most often asked of web cartoonists. So I've been in the webcomics game since around 2000 in some shape or form. I did a couple like guest spots on Fans, if you remember that one. Some of you might know my work from Titanium Moose. If you don't look that shit up. It sucks, and then you'll never listen to me again. Some of you know my work from Angry Zen Master, which is also terrible, but not as terrible, but is pretty terrible. Some of you might know my work from Earthworld. Hopefully most of you know my work from Yellow Peril, because that is my current project and the one I'm most interested in and trying to push forward and really trying to make a go at it. So if you've done the circuit for a while, if you've done a lot of conventions, if you show up at places and people start recognizing your face, and you've done webcomics for more than a year and it looks like you're going to stick around, people will often ask you, one, do you make a living at webcomics? And two, how can I make a living at webcomics? So for the first question, sadly no, I am not making a living at Yellow Peril. Most of the money that I make off of the comic goes right back into the comic, whether it's buying materials or paying for travel to go to conventions or hosting or buying merchandise to feed back into the system. Most of the money goes right back into it in some shape or form. So I haven't quite hit that magic I get to quit my day job, fuck y'all number. So if that turns you off for the rest of this, just, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not there yet. I'm trying. 3 years, it's not that long a time, but hopefully things will pick up soon, we'll see. And the other question is, how do I, or how do you, or how does anyone else make a living off of webcomics? How do you sell webcomics? How do you make money off of webcomics? And I think that's the wrong question, because you know how to make money on stuff. You sell stuff, like whether you go to the Kinko's and you print out copies of your book and you say, here, this is $2, or you put ads on your site, or if you have a porn comic, you can put it behind a paywall, like you pay this amount per month and you get to see the titties. Or you get sponsors, or you put your shit up on digital, sell it through Amazon, sell it through Kindle, sell it through whatever. You know how to sell things. Selling things isn't the problem. The problem is getting people to read your comic and getting people excited enough and supportive enough to actually buy your shit. And that is a tougher question to handle. So whenever someone asks, how do you sell comics? I just say, look at this, I'm selling it. But the deeper question, the more tricky question is, how do you build an audience? Because there's no one way to do it. There's no right way to do it. There's no magical formula. There are some cartoonists out there who have figured out a very successful way that works for them. But it won't work for you because you're not them. You don't have that same network. But here are some ideas that may help you or guide you to find your way to build your audience, so that hopefully you will live the dream of being able to quit your day job and cartoon for a living, as I aspire to. So the most powerful way to get eyes to your comic is sadly through word of mouth. And I say sadly because it is a long process. It takes a long time for it to spread word friend to friend. But I mean, you know what it's like, because you're probably following a bunch of comics now that you've heard from friends. Like, you know, one of your friends say, hey, I know you like fantasy stuff, so here's a webcomic I think I'm following, you should follow it too. Or I know you like cute humorous stuff, here's a comic that I think you would like, you should follow it too. And some of them are hits and some of them are misses, but you know, one of your favorite comics is probably something that someone recommended to you. I'm that way. I have a whole bunch of comics that I never would have heard of or found on my own that I followed because friends have recommended them to me. And so that's the long tail. And there's no real way to spur that along. I mean, you can ask your friends, you can ask your readers when you post stuff up and say, hey, if you like my comic, please share it with your friends. That's the best way to advertise, which is really the best way to advertise. But it's a long strategy. It's a slow soak. You drop that pot in the sea and you wait a couple hours and come out, or in this case, a couple years, because that takes a while. But yeah, word of mouth is still the best way, because the readers that you gain from that are going to stick around and they're going to follow your comic and they're going to be rabid fans. They're going to do that archive dive, read all the stuff in the back, and then complain that you're not updating fast enough, which is exactly what you want. It's that nice sweet spot. So word of mouth is a great way to get your stuff out there, and it's not something that you can control, unfortunately. Something you can control is guest comics. Guest comics are another great way to get eyes on your work. You should probably aim for people that comics that you like, or comics that have a similar vein or similar themes as yours, because those are the types of readers that you want to get. And it's a tricky strategy, because you can't always guarantee that your guest spot will send people to your comic. But chances are you're going to pick up a couple of readers here and there. I know my readership has grown because I've done a couple of guest comics for some much higher profile comics. So that's been a great help. Problem is, it takes time away from your own comic, so you have to do it. One of the things that I look for when I'm reading a new webcomic is consistency. And this is not a universal. There are some comics out there that rarely update, yet their creators have a huge fan base and are able to still make a living with a sporadic or non-existent update schedule. But for me, consistency is one of the things that I look for when somebody is doing a webcomic and they say they want to take this seriously. Like, are you updating consistently? And if you're missing updates, do you have something posted on that update, either a sketch or an explanation? Hey, the power went out, or hey, a train exploded in Baltimore. Fucking weird. If you're consistent with your update schedule, and if you're engaging with the audience, I think those are hallmarks of a professional cartoonist. Because it's just, if you want this to be your job, you have to treat it like a job. If you all of a sudden didn't show up to work for a couple days at a time and didn't tell anybody, your ass would be fired. So if you're not going to be able to make your update, do the same. Give your readers the same courtesy. Like, call in sick, call in broken, call in whatever, call in power outage. But at least inform your readership. Let them know what the fuck is going on, because they are your boss when you are doing this for a living, because you're getting money from them, So those are basic tenets that I think of when those are strategies that I've personally used. Just trying to be consistent, doing guest comics, and just letting that word of mouth spread. The other thing that I think is pretty important is engaging in social media. Now, if you I appear to be very active and very social online, which is kind of cool because it belies my personality. Like, if you meet me in person, and I haven't met you yet, and I'm not at a convention, I'm a pretty shy person. But when it comes to promoting comics and talking about comics and engaging with other creators and fans online, I'm very, very active, and it doesn't take a lot. Just a couple of keystrokes, and just being honest and saying what you feel and things like that. If fans have a question, you answer it. If someone tweets at you something, you answer it. If you're getting hate mail, ignore that shit. You don't want to get into a flame war, because you're never gonna win, and their opinion of you is never gonna change. So why fucking bother? But in terms of engaging, it's pretty easy these days to engage with an audience. Twitter, Facebook, comment feed on your comic. That's easy stuff. And you just have to get in the habit of answering questions, or just basic engagement. That's all people ask for. And that's something that the webcomics medium lends itself very easily to, is engaging. So, just engage your audience, tell them when you're going to be at a show, do all that stuff. So that's another easy way to kind of, engender an audience that will interact with you. And you want people that interact with you, because chances are when it comes time for you to sell a thing, those are the types of fans who will say, hey, he's pretty cool or she's pretty cool interacting with, I think I will support them with Dadas. So that's awesome. And you get to meet your readers and to see and engage how things are going. So that's really cool. That's something that was a lot more difficult back in the day of just print comics. You had the letters page and that was pretty much it. So it's like a one-way exchange. But with the comment threads and Twitter and Facebook and social media, it's more of a two-way situation. So those are simple things that you can do. Things that will take a little bit more time. I've never used these, but friends of mine have. So if you hang out on Reddit or a well-trafficked forum, anytime there's a topic that pops up that you think is related to your comic, you go in there and say, hey, I have an opinion on this topic. Here's my opinion in comic form, and you can link your comic that way. The danger is that you don't want to appear to be spamming that particular forum, but I've seen that work. Or maybe when you comment or say something profound, have your comic URL in your signature. That's another hands-off way to do it. Another thing that people do to gain readership is advertise. This costs money, and it's a hit or miss. It's not always a necessarily good way of getting people eyes on your work. You might get a lot of eyes in the short run, but are these the type of people who will stick around? Not necessarily. Like, you might lose 50% of the people who show up from an ad. There are a couple of low-cost ad networks that are decent and do cater towards the webcomics community. If any of you have heard of Project Wonderful, it's very easy to spend like $5 for a week campaign and get your banners out to websites. You can be a little bit more targeted if you want to and pay a higher fee for some of the higher traffic sites out there. Facebook actually is pretty good. Facebook ads are very good for targeting specific types of people that you want to attain as readers. They've got so much data on everyone who logs in that it's very easy to pinpoint the exact type of reader you want. So Facebook ads could be a good way to go. Project Wonderful is also a good way to go. I'm not familiar with any of those other ad networks that you can advertise on, but I think those two would, if I was going to go out and advertise for Yellow Pearl, I think I would try those two to kind of see what's going on. But I don't use that, so maybe there's money being left on the table that I don't know about. Maybe this is the best way to get a webcomic. I don't know. But if you have some spare cash and you want to be bold, give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. But really, building a network, building a readership, building people who care about you, who are invested in your work, that is much more important than learning about how to print things or how to put up ads on your site or how to make t-shirts. That's all bullshit. You can fucking do that. You know how to do that. You don't know how to do that, but you fucking know how to do it. Put a design on a shirt, maybe sell it for more than it costs you. I mean, the economics of selling things and making a living off of things is not difficult. Building an audience that gives a shit about you, that will pay money for you, that is more difficult, and that is an ongoing process. And that is something that you will have to figure out on your own. Take a baseline, word of mouth, guest comics, just engaging. I feel like that's a decent baseline. But from there, go out and figure out what works for you. If you're comfortable putting on a sandwich board and going out into the quad and yelling at people, read my shit, maybe that is the way that you build an audience. Vlogging helps. I've gotten a couple of hits off of this silly thing, and nobody knows who I am, but I've gotten I've gotten a couple of hits from YouTube. So if you're comfortable talking to a camera, or even if you're not comfortable talking to a camera, give it a try. It's very, very low stress. But yeah, whatever is your way, is the way that works for you. And it sucks to say that, and I wish I could just give you a toolkit. Like, if there was a toolkit, and if you followed that told you to follow these steps, and you're gonna get millions of hits instantly, and you'll be able to quit your job, I would fucking give that to everyone, because I think we need better comics, we need more comics in the world, and the more people who are dedicating their livelihoods to it, the better, because they can, you know, concentrate and tell the stories that they want to do without having to like compromise. But I don't have that toolkit, and I wish I fucking did, because I want to quit my day job. I want to work full time doing comics. And for those of you who do too, I want you to do it, because fucking comics are rad. I probably gave you more questions than answers, and I apologize for that. But really, you know, next time somebody asks, you know, how do you make a living off of webcomics, just try to change the perception of, like, what you really want to know is how to build an audience, because you fucking know how to make a living off of webcomics. Make more money coming in than going out. Duh. Building an audience, not so duh. So thank you for listening to my rant. I'm gonna go now and keep kicking files around and PDFs and margins and bleeds and all that kind of stuff. All right, bye.